Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Today, Chelsea news. It's a Sunday. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you've had a great week. It has been a very busy week on the Telegram. Lots of you guys have joined. Lots of you guys have also joined the support team with Go Markets as well, and everyone's making money. Link at the top of the description. It's been good there, and it's looking good for Chelsea now. It is finally looking as though the window is beginning to gather momentum. I think we'll sit here in a week from now and there will at least be 4 players sold, and I think at least 1 officially signed. And that isn't Nkunku Gusto. Tomorrow, we're expecting an announcement from Chelsea for Christopher Nkunku. It was reported that the announcement would be made after his international duties with France, which will be over today or tomorrow, I think. So Nkunku announcement is coming. That's going to be exciting, but that's not the one signing that I think will be done. Today, in this video, we're going to talk Nicolas Jackson. We're going to talk Moises Caicedo and the Gabri Veiga release clause, and is Veiga being bought in as a direct replacement for Kai Havertz? And what does it mean for the likes of Cesar Cacide, Andre Santos and Carney Chukwuemeka? 3 incredibly good, talented young midfielders at Chelsea Football Club. And when we talk about the number of signings that Chelsea will make in the midfield this summer, I think it can be split into 2 parts. We've got the defensive midfield and then potential number 10 replacements, Mount replacements, Havertz replacements. But we're going to start in this video by talking about Caicedo. Probably, if we look at the Nicolas Jackson deal, and we'll talk about that a bit later in this video, so stay tuned. But when we look at the biggest money moves coming into Chelsea this summer, Caicedo you would expect to be the most expensive one. I don't think Chelsea will have the financial capacity and the pull power to bring a £100 million striker to the club. I really don't, which is a bit of a worry. But at the same time, the Caicedo transfer is such an excitable one. It's exciting because I've been saying all along, we need one of those combative midfielders, mobile, quick midfielders, to be able to free up Enzo Fernandez. But in the process of doing that, we can get excited about Enzo's potential being higher, being more, seeing a more prominent role in an attacking sense in the Chelsea team. But also, remember some of those combative midfielders of the past, you know, the likes of Michael Essien. I'm going to say this, I think Essien probably goes down as one of the most underrated Chelsea players ever. He was a machine in the midfield. When you look at Caicedo, it's not the same build of player. He's like, what he does sometimes is Essien-esque, but in a Kante-esque kind of body. Not in terms of height, but if you look at the size of Caicedo, you're like, how are you so strong? How are you so good at winning the ball back in these defensive areas? And for someone of his age, how is he so good at winning the ball back and knowing, anticipation-wise, in the Premier League of all leagues, where to be and what to do? At 21 years old, Chelsea will be signing one of the world's up-and-coming defensive midfielders. And when you look at the age of Enzo, Caicedo, Chukwuemeka, Santos, Cacide, you cannot help but be excited. When we talk about all of the chaos that has been the club for the last year, when we talk about do the owners know what they're doing, I absolutely believe that the caliber of young players that they have brought into this club, if we add Caicedo into that mix in the coming week or so, then there's definitely some seriously positive forward thinking that we can do as fans and that the club are trying to create. It might not bring immediate success in the name of success that we know as Chelsea fans, but it is definitely a big step forward, and Caicedo will allow Enzo to be that more progressive player that we know he wants to be. And when we look at some of the key moments that Enzo's had, one of the ones where he didn't really shine was against Dortmund away. When Adeyemi scores that goal, when he runs the length of the pitch, Enzo is that last man. That won't be Enzo anymore. We won't be seeing Enzo having to run back and chase fast players like Karim Adeyemi. We'll see Caicedo doing that, which allows Enzo to be further forward, to be that creative spark and that attacking threat that we know he belongs to be in the final third. At the moment, with Caicedo, Fabrizio Romano reports that it is 90 to 95% done in terms of personal terms, agreements with Chelsea. Of course, we've been competing potentially with Arsenal, Man United, maybe Liverpool were interested as well. But because of Chelsea's persistence, because of Chelsea's, I'd say, I guess, lack of reluctance to go towards those kind of figures that Brighton were wanting, Arsenal have got their eyes set on Declan Rice. They were never going to spend 100 million or 80 million as well on Caicedo. I think it was unrealistic. Arsenal fans were getting excited thinking, we're going to get Rice, we're going to get Caicedo. What a window that's going to be. I think Chelsea this week will secure the deal to bring the 21-year-old Ecuadorian to Chelsea Football Club. Earlier on, I said that the Caicedo transfer, in my opinion, will be the biggest value transfer that Chelsea bring in this summer. Nicolas Jackson. I spoke about him a couple of days ago when the initial links with Chelsea were bought out. Chelsea have decided to activate the release clause for Nicolas Jackson. Chelsea are set to pay 35 million euros, discussing instalments. 3 more clubs open to pay the clause, so Chelsea will be fast as player wants the Premier League move. Contract will be long, more than 5 years. Here we go soon. This is, of course, from Fabrizio Romano. This Nicolas Jackson transfer has also been reported by David Ornstein, a journalist who is very well known for not really brewing things, but just delivering the cup of tea. That's what Ornstein does. And Ornstein's also talking about this one. So when I say one transfer will be completed that we didn't know about by the end of next week, I think it will be this Jackson transfer. Again, he's incredibly young. He scored 9 goals in his last 8 games in La Liga this season. And that is what Chelsea have seen. But also, I've done more research on Nicolas Jackson since I made that video where I basically admitted I didn't know much about the guy, but it looks as though the club are buying into a bit of end-of-season form. In all fairness to Nicolas Jackson, he is a very good all-round player. He's got hold-up ability. In the air, maybe not his best bit. He gets an assist in the air last night. And in terms of both feet, he can use both feet, he can turn, he can hold his back to the goal, he can do a lot of the things that Kai Havertz can do, but he can also finish. So for that reason, this Nicolas Jackson signing, 35 million euros. There are 2 different ways we can look at this. He's going to be bought in as another young talent, another one of those players for the future that Chelsea may bracket in the same kind of context as a David Datro Fofana. We've also got Armando Broja at the club. Brighton want Broja. Is he being bought in as that Broja replacement with a big name striker still to come through the door? We're led to believe at the moment that Chelsea will also be bringing in a top striker. My concern is that we're getting this Jackson deal done early in case we just have to admit by the end of this window that big name strikers want to play Champions League football and therefore didn't want to come to Chelsea. This is a possibility. Jackson could be brought in to play a rotational role, maybe with Broja, competing with Nkunku, maybe Havertz doesn't leave. There's still so many things that need to be ironed out. I'm going to go, in terms of my feeling about this deal, I feel as though it is a good deal. I've looked at him, I've seen he's a significantly better player than I gave him credit for in my last video. He's exciting. I don't think he's ready to lead Chelsea's line and fire us back into European football. I don't think that's an assumption that I could make in this video here today, having only really heard about him for the last 8 games of the season for Villareal and watching a few videos. That's the truth. That's the research I've been able to do because there's no football on at the minute apart from internationals. And he played in that, saw him in that, and he was good. Got himself an assist with his head. But I think Chelsea will still need a big name number 9 signing. I do. And that could lead the way for Armando Broja to leave Chelsea. Could he go to Brighton? Could this end up being one of the key sticking points in the Caicedo deal? Going to see more about this one this week, but Jackson, I think, will be a Chelsea player within the next 5 days. Moving into the final story of today's video, the Gabri Veiga release clause. Chelsea have been looking into this one over recent weeks, as we'll hear in the later video today, the updates regarding Kai Havertz, Mason Mount with Manchester United as well. Gabri Veiga was also wanted by Liverpool. Chelsea have been the ones pushing the inquiries recently with Celta Vigo. The release clause is around a similar fee to that of what we'd have to pay for Nicolas Jackson. Are Chelsea just buying into the fact that this is the new Spanish wonder kid? Could he be the next Iniesta? Unless that's a guarantee, I don't really see what Chelsea are trying to spend the money on here. The more we start adding up these Jackson transfers, Veiga transfers, you're going to be looking at 70 million euros, which could end up being the 70 million euros that by the end of the window we claim we don't have to go and invest on a real top level striker. Chelsea, I'm excited by all these young players you're bringing in, but I am worried that we're missing the point. We need to spend big on a DM and we need to spend big on a quality striker, and I mean upper echelon quality, not just potential for the future. We've got to be careful here. Don't want to be Mr. Negative about it. Gabri Veiga looks like a great player. Nicolas Jackson looks like a great player. But are they going to send Chelsea back to where we've been saying we belong? We know we belong, but is that the right profile? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, but I will be doing another video later on today here on GBFC talking about all of the updates regarding Chelsea's Saudi exodus, Kai Havertz potentially going to Arsenal, Mount to Man United, updates on that transfer as well. So stay tuned, subscribe to GBFC, hit the like button if you did enjoy this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about the youngsters, Jackson, Caicedo, Veiga. Do you want of all of them? Do you want none of them? Is it only Caicedo you want? Thoughts in the comments below. Come on, you Blues.